But even if we fail to halt the decline, it will not be the end of hope. The forces we face may be powerful and ruthless. They may have the capacity to plunge us into a terrifying dystopia, one where we will see our freedoms curtailed and widespread economic deprivation. But no tyranny in history has crushed the human capacity for love. And this love, unorganized, irrational, often propelling us to carry out acts of compassion that jeopardize our existence, is deeply subversive to those in power. Love, which appears in small, blind acts of kindness, manifested itself even in the horror of the Nazi death camps, in the killing fields of Cambodia, in the Soviet gulags, and in the genocides in the Balkans and Rwanda. The Russian novelist Vasily Grossman wrote of the power of these acts in his masterpiece, Life and Fate. I have seen that it is not man who is impotent in the struggle against evil, but the power of evil that is impotent in the struggle against man. The powerlessness of kindness, of senseless kindness, is the secret of its immortality. It can never be conquered. The more stupid, the more senseless, the more helpless it may seem, the vaster it is. Evil is impotent before it. The prophets, religious teachers, reformers, social and political leaders are impotent before it. This dumb, blind love is man's meaning. Human history is not the battle of good, struggling to overcome evil. It is a battle fought by a great evil, struggling to crush a small kernel of human kindness. But if what is human in human beings has not been destroyed even now, then evil will never conquer. What was a scrap of paper to a commander of the Khmer Rouge or Joseph Stalin? What was a scrap of paper to the Russian poet Osip Mandelstam, extinguished in Stalin's reign of terror, or the Hungarian poet Miklos Radniti, on whose body, found in a mass grave, were poems that condemned his fascist killers and are today taught to school children in Hungary. I am a poet who's fit for the stake's fire, he had scribbled, because to the truth he's testified, one who knows that the snow is white, the blood is red, as is the poppy, and the poppy's furry stalk is green, one whom they will kill in the end, because he himself has never killed. What were the teachings of Jesus to the Roman consuls, or the sayings of Buddha to the feudal warlords? Whose words, decades later, do we heed? The pompous and grandiose rants of the dictator and the politician, or the gentle reminders that call us back to the human? I am not naive about violence, tyranny, and war. I have seen enough of human cruelty. But I have also seen in conflict after conflict that we underestimate the power of love. The power of a Salvadoran archbishop, even though he was assassinated, to defy the killing. The power of a mayor in a small Balkan village to halt the attacks on his Muslim neighbors. These champions of the sacred, even long after they are gone, become invisible witnesses to those who follow, condemning through their courage their own executioners. They may be few in number, but their voices ripple outward over time. The mediocrities who mask their feelings of worthlessness and emptiness behind the facade of power and illusion, who seek to make us serve their perverse ideologies, fear most those who speak in the language of love. They seek, as others have sought throughout human history, to silence these lonely voices, and yet these voices always rise in magnificent defiance. All ages, all cultures, and all religions produce those who challenge the oppressor and fight for the oppressed. Ours is no exception. The ability to stand as an ironic point of light that flashes out wherever the just exchange their messages is the ability to sustain a life of meaning. It is to understand, as Cyrano said at the end of his life, "I know you will leave me with nothing, neither the laurel nor the rose. Take it all then. There is one possession I take with me from this place. Tonight, when I stand before God and bow low to him so that my forehead brushes his footstool, the firmament, I will stand again and proudly show him that one pure possession which I have never ceased to cherish or to share with all." Our culture of illusion is at its core a culture of death. It will die and leave little of value behind. It was Sparta that celebrated raw militarism, discipline, obedience, and power. But it was Athenian art and philosophy that echoed down the ages to enlighten new worlds, including our own. Hope exists. It will always exist. It will not come through structures or institutions, nor will it come through nation states, but it will prevail, even if we as distinct individuals and civilizations vanish. The power of love is greater than the power of death. It cannot be controlled. It is about sacrifice for the other, something nearly every parent understands, rather than exploitation. It is about honoring the sacred. And power elites have for millennia tried and failed to crush the force of love. Blind and dumb, indifferent to the siren calls of celebrity, unable to bow before illusions, defying the lust for power, love constantly rises up to remind a wayward society of what is real and what is illusion. Love will endure, even if it appears darkness has swallowed us all, to triumph over the wreckage that remains.